Hello and welcome to this tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to modify SMF's templating system to make a whole new type of theme like the one we have on this PSD right now. We're just going to be modifying the header, but it's a totally different header to what SMF currently has on the curved default theme. To get started, you want to create your default theme copy. First go to admin, then go configuration, themes and layout, manage and install. Then you want to go down to install new theme, and then you want to name it what you're going to have the theme name as. Click install, and are you sure? Say OK. So it says it was successfully installed. Press back and then reset your overall form default, and you want to reset everyone to that theme you just created. Press save. Now you can go back to the base of your SMF form and go to your server, and then go to the root of SMF, go into your themes folder, and then go into your theme you just created. You might have to refresh. Click on that and download the index template and the CSS. I like to make revision folders named 1, 2, 3, and so on. So download the index.template, download the index.css, and open both those up. Okay, so we gotta go file open and go into that one. Open those both up. Alright, so now that we have those open, we want to scroll down to where the body starts, which is right above the wrapper right here, and we want to create our first top part, which is this top bar. So start by making an echo tag, which is basically printing out to the browser window in PHP. So start off by going div class equals top bar, top underscore bar, and close off that div. And you also want a top bar inner so that we can have padding and stuff like that in there. So add that in there and close that off like so. And we also want this form width right here, so that you can just copy that right there and paste that into the top bar inner, since that's what we're going to be centering the thing across. We can also check if it's empty and not set that. So first just do that, do your single quote, comma, your statement, and then you can surround what you want in single quotes, and then a colon to separate else nothing, which is just 2 single quotes to finish that off, and then finish that whole statement off with a comma and single quote. And as you can see, everything is formatted correctly and all your coloring is there. So if something is all grayed out and stuff and it looks all funny, you probably did something wrong if you're using Notepad++. So now that that's done, let's go into your CSS, scroll down to the bottom all the way, and just make a bunch of lines so it's easy to see. And the first one we want to create is our top bar class. So .top bar, and that is a height of 34 pixels, and we want this one to span across 100% width. And then we want to get the gradient. So for the gradient, I like to use the ColorZilla gradient generator. For our first color, we can go into our blending options, go to gradient overlay, and get this color. So 2-3. I like to use this gradient generator. Okay, so paste that color in, press OK, and then get this color and paste that one in right here. And then make sure it's going the right way. We actually want to switch it around, so you can just drag them over top of each other like that, and you can just copy CSS code, paste that right in. And I like to use hex code for the base old browser, so I just click in the middle to get a relative color. Instead of this RGB, I like just change it to a hex code. Next, we want to do the top bar inner CSS. Right now the top bar spans across 100% width, but we want the container to be centered inside that. So we want margin 0 auto to set the horizontal margins to be auto. line height of 34 pixels. This will center the text on the 34 pixel height. We want to set the height to 34 pixels. The color will be white, and we want to also style our links. So let's get top bar inner. Whoop, we forgot the dot. And then a link, and we also want the active, so just change the end of that. And we also want visit it, and we want hover, because nothing's really going to change on hover for this. And we just change that to color FF, which is white, and then text decoration none, so that there's no underline on these. So we can save that and save that. Then we can upload both of them like so. Go back to our theme, refresh, and now you can see we have a top bar here. The reason that there's a space on the top is because our body has a padding, so we can delete that on the CSS by just searching for body. It should be somewhere at the top, and just change that to padding 0. Save it and upload your CSS again, and it should disappear. Okay, so that's done. Now we want to add some stuff inside there. We also want to actually find put some guts in there so that we can actually put the padding in there and not mess up the width that's set in the style attribute right here. So add top bar guts, and then close that off. Whoop. Save it, and we can also add our CSS to it. Top bar guts, and we just want to add a padding in there. So let's go down and create our top bar guts class, and it's just gonna be padding 0, which would be 0 vertical padding and 20 pixel horizontal padding. So save that, and then we can also go back to our index.template.php here and get some content inside here. So as you can see, if we go back to the PSD, we have this messaging and we have the login and register. So we want to have this first class of float left, which this class is automatically in SMF's default CSS and just has a attribute of float left. So we can put that in there, and we also want to float right for the other side of login or register. And we can have our image URL first. So I have the image saved right here, but you can just save the little icon, and you just drag it into your images folder like so. Insert your image tag src equals, and then your double quote, and then single quote, comma, settings, and then image URL, images URL. Close that off, and then do your comma and single quote slash messages icon, or whatever you named the image, and add an alt of messages for the browsers that can't load the images or if they're impaired, and upload your index.template.php and your CSS, since we've edited both of those now. Okay, refresh, and our image is broken. What's wrong with it? So I'm guessing our settings image URL is not correct. Yep, I did IRL, so save that and upload index.template, refresh, and now we got our icon. Okay, top bar guts and everything like that. So now we want to add our text in here, and we can find that by printing out our context. We can just do this above here. We want to echo out some pre-tags, which will make the array pretty so it can read it easily, and then print our, and we just want to print out this variable right here, context, which has a lot of SMF's basic information that you probably want to use. So upload the index template to PHP again, and you refresh and you see this huge list, and we want to find the messages. So the messages is in the user and then messages. So what we have to do is get out of the echo tag, just like the single quote comma like we've been doing, and then type context, and then first is user, and then we go to messages like that, and then we have the unread messages, so we can just copy that, paste, and then unread underscore like that, and save it and see if those actually went. And you might have to scroll on pretty far because the array is huge. So now I can see it's 2 and 0 just like we have right there. We're just going to add the text in there, 12 messages, and have unread there, messages, comma, and unread. So save that, upload that, and as you can see, it's good. You might need to add a space after the messages, like that. Oh, Control S, save, fresh, and then we can just link that to the inbox. So a href equals, and then script URL, which is your base SMF link of your forum, and then action equals PM to link to the inbox, and then close off your /a right at the end like that. And then your float right, this is actually kind of part of what we have if you sign out, but we can just write it out quickly. We just want a href equals script URL, close that off, and then action equals login, close that off, and then we're going to set this up later but with our text strings, but for now we can do this, or, and then copy that, and this is register, and put that text in there, and then we can save it, upload, refresh. As you can see, they're all good. The only thing we might want to do is add a space here, so we can do at nbsp and then colon, semicolon, save the index template, upload it, and refresh, and it's not there. We actually want to be on the other side of the image, so put that there, save, I'll re-upload it, and then there's the space. Okay, so now that we finished the top bar, that concludes this part of the tutorial. Hope you move on to the next one where we'll be making the middle part.